Reality television is certainly no stranger to royalty, or those with that shiny illusion of being somewhat royal adjacent. Such illustrious names as Prince Lorenzo Borghese or Lady Victoria Hervey having dragged their regal bodies into the likes of Celebrity Big Brother and Love Island in recent years. This year's series of The Jump is no different, with Emma Parker Bowles, the Duchess of Cornwall's niece, following in the royal-adjacent footsteps of 2015 contestant Mike Tindall to stagger through snow and fly home in a full-body cast. While Parker Bowles has largely kept out of the spotlight in her adult years, her journey to the ski slopes has been an interesting one. Roping in a tabloid romance with Prince William, topless photographs and a stint in rehab. The 43-year-old Emma is the daughter of Richard Parker Bowles, Camilla's former brother-in-law, and came to fame during the late 90s young, drunk royal boom. Tabloids breathlessly covered the so-called Throne Ranger set as they tumbled out of Mayfair nightclubs and got arrested for drunk driving and multiple drug intoxication. Their tight-bodied trashiness only enhanced by the likely fraudulent mental image of the Queen, holding her head in her hands in embarrassment. Parker Bowles was one such tabloid favorite, along with such red-top catnip as Freddie Windsor, Nicholas Knatchbull and the Socrates to their decade-younger Platos, the irrepressible Tara Palmer Tompkinson. For Parker Bowles, her major claim to fame was similar to an array of pretty blondes of the era. She allegedly dated Prince William, but their rumored flirtation was slightly controversial. While Parker Bowles was 25 at the time, William was just 17. Wills was smitten, said a typically Mills and Boon-style source to the Sunday People in 1999. He was looking lovingly at Emma and she was hanging on his every word. Sometimes he gazes at her so adoringly that it becomes a bit embarrassing. He looks every inch a young man who is falling in love. While a relationship didn't form, the pair remained friendly. Emma was even invited to the royal wedding. "I was really touched," she told E! News in 2011. "I was surprised because I know he didn't invite a lot of people. I think he just started off as a nice person," she said of the king in waiting. You could see in that situation how he possibly could have turned out to be a real brat. But he couldn't be further from that, and has much more humility than a lot of people I know. While her rumored fling with William turned her into a darling of the tabloids, life took a darker turn in 2000 when the 26-year-old Emma, echoing the drying out of many of her peers, was admitted to a private rehabilitation clinic for alcoholism and addiction to cocaine and Valium. "I have absolutely no problem admitting that I spent my early 20s with half of Colombia up my nostrils and enough marijuana smoke to blanket Wembley in my lungs," she joked in the Daily Mail in 2010. Her father also fought addiction. "Drugs can affect everybody," Richard Parker Bowles told The Independent in 2000. "It doesn't matter whether you're from Buckingham Palace or a council estate." Her outspoken father also seemed to indicate the pressure of Camilla Parker Bowles's relationship with Prince Charles was to blame for his daughter's woes. "If you drop a rock into the middle of a pond, it sends ripples in all directions," he told the New York Post. Well, that rock is basically the Prince of Wales and Camilla Parker Bowles. That affects everybody with that name. I have even considered changing my name on several occasions. After successfully completing rehab, Emma underwent an image makeover as a fast car connoisseur, working as a writer and columnist for such magazines as Top Gear, The Sun and, quite naturally, Tatler. But while her published work is often witty and self-deprecating, she continued to embrace the title of Hot Royal, and was photographed wearing nothing but a pair of goggles in 2002. "Sometimes I don't get dressed at all and my favorite pastimes feel better undertaken in the Nude, she joked in a Tatler column. I cause a bit of a stir down at my local rock climbing club, and some of the elderly people in the bingo hall can be frosty, but most people don't really notice. Her skills subsequently took her to television, where she co-hosted the Sky One sports car series Vroom Vroom between 2006 and 2007. Her last major TV appearance was in 2010's controversial Famous, Rich and Jobless, where she toured through UK poverty alongside the likes of Dermot Gavin and Meg Matthews. She subsequently moved to Los Angeles, where she has worked as a mechanic and as a rescuer of homeless dogs. Her charity work has been widely praised throughout the LA area, and she has been named an honorary board member of the Tail Waggers Foundation, a non-profit organization helping sick and injured animals. Along with animal rescue, she regularly writes for the Daily Mail. But an article in which she posed for revealing pictures in a burlesque club, it seemed that not only had I lost touch with my own sexy, it was in the witness protection program and there was no chance it was coming back. She wrote, has been mysteriously wiped from the internet. One column that has survived, however, finds her revealing she suffers from bipolar disorder. If you are wondering why I have written this article, it is for two reasons, she wrote. The first one is selfish. Admitting I have a mental illness is the first step in the road to recovery. Sharing it takes the power out of it. To hell with you, bipolar. I am not ashamed anymore. My second reason is this: I know I am not the only one. So if reading this helps just one person not to feel so alone, not to feel so lost in the fog, then it was worth it. Just don't suffer in silence. Don't be ashamed.